Welcome to Beneath the Surface, a space where clinical insight meets holistic healing. I'm Joplin Monique, a holistic coach and consultant. I'm joined by Lasana Claxton, a licensed professional counselor. Together, we explore the emotional layers beneath our everyday lives, from personal healing to family patterns and the systems that shape us. So, today we are diving into the wisdom of anger. What our rage is trying to tell us. So, we want to reframe anger and kind of go into that emotion itself today. How anger can be seen as a protector, but clarifying the emotions that it signals. And instead of looking at anger as like a bad emotion. So for me, Miss Lasana, I know that growing up, like the anger was a bad emotion. Like you weren't supposed to,
Yeah.
especially little girls, you weren't supposed to be angry. You weren't supposed to display anger tendencies. And so as an adult, I feel like that kind of cuts us off from our emotions. What's your thoughts about the overall view of that emotion of anger?
Anger was, I'm thinking, trying to think back as a kid,
Mhm,
it was scary. Because
mhm.
for me, it meant that if you're angry with me, I've done something wrong.
But that kind of goes into like the misconceptions of anger being dangerous, like you mentioned, being
Mhm.
scared, anger, or that emotion itself, or it being irrational or
Mhm.
shameful. I've seen and I've had some instances where I have displayed anger, and after that instant, it's almost like you go directly into, I'm sorry, like the
Yes,
apologetic behavior because that emotion has not been put out there as a healthy emotion. Um,
absolutely.
and normally it comes out. I haven't seen anyone display anger in a healthy manner. Have you?
Whew. No, I don't. I haven't.
Mm,
I mean, I'm guilty. I, because even when I have been really upset or angry,
mhm.
I know that I go silent.
Okay, so you shut down.
Yes, that's not
Gotcha.
healthy.
Absolutely.
So, when we look at, because you may think, well, I'm silent, I go silent, I shut down
Hmm.
so that I'm trying to preserve the relationship because I don't want to say things that I shouldn't say or things that I'll regret.
Hmm.
But then your feelings are not being shared. You're burying your true feelings about a situation that are important, that
Right.
should be expressed and explored because it's only going to make future situations worse.
Right. Right. So I want to kind of chat with you to see what you think about this. So, from your experience and what does anger, if somebody displays anger, what does anger really mean? Usually, if I display anger, it's because I've been triggered emotionally.
Mm.
When I've
Mhm.
been able to identify that trigger or be able to identify what made me angry, what happened or what was said or what was felt that made me angry, and I'm able to zoom in on that trigger, then what it boils down to is that the anger ain't even an issue. It's something underneath there that's really
Absolutely.
okay. Okay, so that's what it is. right? That's what it is. So anger is the outside expression
Hmm.
of something else that's going on.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Oh my God. Look at you. Look at you. You just put us right there where we need to be, honey.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because it takes it took me a long time to figure that out, and some people still don't know that. Like the words I know, like what we used to use when we were younger. Oh, I'm about to pop off, or what they say now, crash out. Crash. I'm
Oh
about to
God,
crash.
yes.
How old am I? We used to say pop off. We used to say, "Oh, I'm about to pop off. I'm about to pop off."
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so
I'm about to turn up.
yes, I'm about to turn up. I'm about to turn up. So we found ways to describe this emotion, but this is the emotion. And instead, anger is the emotion. But instead of us looking at, like, why is this making you angry? We look at what happens after that, rather the disagreement, winning the disagreement, or
Mm.
physically, if with men or some women physically fighting,
Yeah,
or winning that. Like, there's no, like, what is really going on? There's no time for that.
absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Got you. So for you, how does how does it express, like, how does that whole process look and feel to you, when from going to the crash out moment, backtracking to what the issue
Hmm.
actually is? Like, have you guided people through that before?
Yes, I have.
Mm,
And what I remind, it's almost like I love when people talk about, oh, and I just got so angry, or she just made me so upset, or he just made me so upset, because it actually allows me to go into helping them understand what
mm,
happened.
mhm,
And the first thing that I suggest is you lost control because no one can make you do anything.
mhm,
You actually you actually allowed
mhm,
something to happen that triggered an anger response.
mhm.
But the other thing is, anger is the easiest to express, because
Absolutely.
if you think about it, like, if I show that I'm angry, people will respond accordingly, or they'll understand, oh, yeah, well, I see why you were upset, but do you really?
Mhm,
Because anger is only the outer expression.
mhm.
It's masking deeper feelings, like those feelings that cause us, we don't want people to know we're having those feelings because they're heart feelings, and they are feelings that make us feel more vulnerable, like
Right,
fear,
right.
sadness, or
Mhm,
powerlessness.
mhm,
So when we feel we don't no, I don't want to tell you that I'm afraid.
mhm.
I don't want to say those things to you because you might look at me differently. But by me showing this aggression that I'm showing, it's accepted.
And that's the
It's
word.
expected.
That's the
Hmm.
word, aggression. That, and that right there, that's what made me, even in my recent years, look at anger as a protective mechanism. So, like, I know when we did our episode about fear, that stood out, but the fear was due to, folks displaying this aggression that was anger. It wasn't until recently when I started doing my own healing work where I'm like, oh, they were really sad on the inside, or that aggression or that anger was almost like a protective shield, like
Absolutely.
cocooning their insides in. And the best way to meet somebody with that type of disposition is not with more anger. It is with
Absolutely.
openness and comfort. And I accept you for who you are. And then you'll slowly see that protective covering as anger. You'll slowly see that fall down, because they don't, usually people who are in that disposition, often they don't feel safe. is what I've noticed. They don't feel safe
Right.
in their bodies. They don't feel safe in this world. They've never felt safe. And so like we used to say as well, they squared up. They're ready to fight at any given moment, even
Mhm.
if it does not it doesn't call for that. Situation doesn't call for that type of aggression.
Mhm. And you think about unresolved trauma.
Mm,
It you know, these are underlying issues,
mhm,
medical conditions. People they're afraid, but
mhm,
it's coming out as anger,
mhm,
uh, substance abuse, the altering, mind altering things,
mhm,
stress, family and environmental factors, and some genetic predispositions.
mhm,
you know, but
mhm,
I want to. This is an example that I use with adults who have children when I think about anger and underlying issues. So you've got your child, your baby, and you have a son.
mhm,
I can just use my grandchildren,
mhm,
but just think about it. Your son walks out into the street in front of a car and almost gets hit.
mhm.
Oh my God. You may grab him. What are you doing? And you might start shaking him. And what do you think people see?
Right. Anger.
Anger.
Mhm.
But actually,
It's fear.
what was underneath that was fear.
Fear. Mhm.
Because,
Mhm.
oh my God, my
Mhm.
baby was getting ready to be hit by a car.
Mhm. Mhm.
What? Oh my God,
Mhm.
we have to go to the hospital. What if he doesn't survive? And
Mhm.
all of that is happening in an instant.
Right. Right.
And the people from the outside looking in, they see your aggression towards your son being showed and displayed as anger, and it's accepted. Hmm. But can we sit with our child or sit with people and say, Mommy wasn't angry.
Right.
Mommy is so sorry how she responded to fear
Right.
because I was afraid.
Right. Right. And that's something that I have incorporated into my parenting. And it's so interesting that you say that because if I so I don't think I've talked about this in detail on our episodes, but my son is nonverbal autistic, and me being in the holistic work, I understand that energetically he feels everything. Like,
Mhm.
even if I don't mean for him to feel it, he's a sponge. Children are, period, but by the fact that he cannot speak, he's nonverbal, he absorbs so much energy. So when I am not, if I'm in an imbalanced space emotionally, when if I have that moment and I see that that moment it impacts him, that is something that I immediately do is sit down and like we'll do something that like I'll sit down on the floor with him and just, either like you say, apologize or explain to him like mommy was just irritated. Mommy is not irritated with you, just, whoever I was on the phone with, or because sometimes, like, he's here. If he's, I mean, he lives with me. So it's just like, it's like if
Absolutely.
somebody irritates me and he hears my voice rise, he's
Hmm.
coming right in here. Like, what happened? What's wrong, mama? And I don't ever want him to think that that energy is because of something that he's done. And I don't want him to absorb that aggressive energy either. But, I have to take accountability often and be more open to being emotionally balanced. I take very much of it, like my energy and my time, to remain balanced, from practicing breath work in the mornings before I even start my day, to not holding in any emotions, or if I have something to say, I figure out a respectable way to say it. I can't, to not unleash that type of anger.
Hmm. Mhm.
Speaking, having those hard conversations as they come up, okay?
Mhm.
Addressing
Mhm.
stuff as it comes up. Journaling, talking to a trusted friend, getting it
Mhm.
out of my
Mhm.
body is
Yes.
what helps me with a healthy expression of anger, of frustration. Because I mean, I'm a single parent to a child with this disability. I have a lot that I could be angry about.
Oh, wow. I think we need to save that for another section.
I have a lot I could be angry about. I choose not to be. I
Look at.
choose that.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that is definitely, and I channel it through creative ventures. This podcast is one of them. I channel it through conversations about things that my mom, like with my mom, for example, things that she never would have got a chance to talk about, in her community. I channel it into those conversations. I channel it into expressive artwork. And I feel that a lot of people don't think past the moment, and if you channel it into something else, channel that energy into prayer, channel that energy into journaling. Like, there's a lot of different ways. I love when I see people who channel their rage and their anger into
Mhm.
physical activity, because
Mhm.
you're moving it from stuck. Like, sometimes when you're that angry, it can feel stuck in your chest, and
Yes.
you're moving it, and at the same time you're healing your body, you know?
Yes.
So, and I know that was a bit of a tangent, but I do, like, as a parent, that was something that I really had to intentionally learn and do with a lot of oomph behind it, because my child is susceptible to positive and negative energies. But I do want to
God.
teach him, positive emotions and positive energies are wonderful, but sometimes we're going to have those negative emotions, and it's okay. It's not shameful. It's not dangerous all the time. It's okay, you know? So,
I
what
love that.
I try I try. That was a big thing because I was sensitive as a child. I wasn't autistic or neurodivergent, but I was extremely sensitive. And so I went the unhealthy way. I
Mhm.
participated in numbing behaviors. So, like,
Okay.
you mentioned that you shut down when you're angry because you don't want it to keep going. I would rather, in my past, which I have recently been able to name it, I would hurt myself before I would hurt someone else with
Mm.
those type of behaviors, those numbing behaviors. And that's what I see a lot of children in this generation. If they either go one way or the other. They hurt somebody else, or they hurt themselves with their words, physically, however, and it's because that anger builds up, and they don't know what to do with it. They
Yeah.
don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. And when we think about it,
Hmm.
I have to, one of the things that stuck out for me when you said you use numbing, like you would rather hurt yourself.
Mm,
And I'm thinking about the times when I've said things like, you know what, I'll be okay. Even though I'm hurting,
mm,
even though I'm hurting,
mhm,
I'd rather hurt myself
mhm,
than
mhm,
to see somebody else hurt.
holding
And
it
it just
in.
made me think that's
Mhm,
the same thing.
mhm. Oh yeah, hurting yourself. Numbing behaviors can look all different kind of ways. We talked about substance abuse. We talked about, like, and then a lot of people try to be like, "Oh, I'm not hurting myself." Well, if you light up a cigarette in order to calm your nerves when somebody upsets you rather than having that
Mhm.
conversation, yeah, you might be
Yes,
hurting yourself.
absolutely. And now think about, And I'm just saying, because I know a lot of people who do it, they are choosing to use substances.
Mm,
And even if that's THC,
mm-hmm,
marijuana,
mm-hmm,
this is how I calm myself. It
mm-hmm,
puts me in this numbing place.
mm-hmm,
So I don't have to, even though all the things are still going on,
mm-hmm.
but I'm just calm.
Right.
So I'm
Ra-
numbing.
Rather not feel
Mm-hmm.
than feel. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So as we close this episode today, I want to invite our listeners to identify a recent moment of anger and explore what was underneath for you. And then hold on to the affirmation of my anger is valid and can be
Mm.
expressed with wisdom. Not that my anger does not matter and I don't need to express it. Absolutely not. My anger is valid and can be expressed with wisdom. Before we sign out for this episode, Miss Lasana, you have any closing remarks?
The only thing that I would really say is express your feelings. Unresolved feeling can also trigger aggression. It's okay to say how you feel. It's okay. Your feelings are valid. Um, Take
Absolutely.
care of yourself, because if you don't take care of you, you're no good for anybody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you found something helpful in today's episode, we love for you to subscribe and leave us a comment. We'll see you next time as we continue exploring what lies beneath the surface.